Let's start by addressing the elephant in the room. For those who have seen my videos before, those who followed me for quite some time, you may notice that a couple of weeks ago, 2 or 3 weeks ago, I've got a tattoo on my hand. That's just part of an ongoing process. I'm completing my sleeve tattoos, so I just wanted to let you know about that, and there is some bonus content at the end of this video which will show you that hand tattooing process. So if you're interested, then just keep watching after this painting tutorial and you will see some footage of me getting my hand tattooed. If you're not interested in that, that's perfectly fine. You can just enjoy the painting video. Just wanted to bring something different, and it's something I guess quite unique if you've not seen any tattoos done before. So for this painting today, I'm keeping things quite simple, quite loose, and you may notice I do have a different set of paints that I'm painting with today. Another really nice brand, which is the Schmincke horadam paints. And I must say that I do have some super granulating paints within that set as well. Don't ask what colours, because I'm quite rubbish at. I should keep them, sort of label them or something like that, so I know exactly which colours I'm using. But I just can't remember those things. I've got that many different sets of paints that I do forget. So with this painting, I'm using the Fabriano artistico paper, and you can see just leaving a little bits of white and letting the colour mix and blend, as I like to do if you've seen my channel before. And you can see some of those granulating. I think they're quite granulating anyway, the Schmincke horadam paints. Let me know what you think in the comments. But they are a really nice pigment to use. Really pigmented colours, really bright, really vibrant. So you do get a lot of this granulation, as you can see in this painting, particularly the sky. I think I did hit some of the super granulating paints anyway, super granulating colours. So I just laid out the land, the horizon, and then just taking some of that pigment out at the bottom of the where the paint stopped. And now I want to include a cottage in this scene, so quite a classic sort of painting that I like to do. And then I'm just painting the roof. You can see just taking a little bit of paint there. I wasn't happy how far I came down on that side of the roof, but I'm just adding that in first, and then so you notice that I did leave a little space as I was painting the landscape, the ground. I did leave a little bit of space for this, so I was planning on including this building as well. So the colour on this is, I think it's a Van Dyke brown and a little bit of raw sienna. So it's quite a nice sort of colour. I wanted to get something quite nice for the roof, and then I'm just going in with the shadow side, and this is Payne's grey and a little bit of blue, a little bit of red, just to get that almost purple tone. And you can see there is a little bit of granulation happening in that shadow side of the building too, so I'm quite happy with that. Quite like the way the paints do granulate. So I want a few trees in this scene as well. One of the things that is nice to do in watercolor, if you do like to paint your landscape paintings, if you do include buildings, it is nice to get something dark behind the buildings. So that's what I'm intending now with these trees, just to give the building a little bit of a pop and make it sort of stand forward, and it really does help. You'll see what I mean as I paint around the building behind, so you get this sort of 3D sort of effect, and it just looks, it's not flat, I should say. Using the liner brush now just to get some of those branches and things going on in the trees, and the paint's still wet, so you do get a little bit of blending, but I'm fine with that. That's absolutely fine. I'm okay. Just adding some more trees now to the side, and wanted to add some pen as well. That's one thing I do like to do. If you've seen my videos before, you know I like to include a little bit of line work if you've got a few details and you just want to sharpen up some of the scene, especially buildings, anything like that. You want a little bit more detail, a bit and then just add in some windows as well. And yeah, so it just gives the building a little bit more definition, so it doesn't sort of get swallowed up in the background. And now just adding the darks to the windows, you can see it's helping the building to look a bit more realistic. And just wanted to add a little chimney to this, so I've had to make that quite dark so you can see it within the dark background. Just dropping in different colours again as I paint the trees, just so it varies the mix, and it just, to me, I think it looks more interesting. But again, let me know what you think. Is this how you paint your trees in watercolours? Just varying the tones, and then I'm just going in with some darks. Using the liner brush again. I do like to use this for foliage and things like that. Just give a different sort of mark rather than the usual round brush. So you can see I've got a really interesting sky. That's what I wanted the paint to sort of come down, and you may have seen that I did. If you noticed, I did turn my paper on the side as well. I do like to do that, just so that the pigment comes down at a different angle, so it's not just coming straight down, although it is mostly on this scene. It does have a little movement as well. Using the liner brush now to flick up some grasses, just in the foreground. So it's a really nice tool to use for grasses. Hopefully you know what this is in the not in the centre of the painting, but I wanted to include a little river, so hopefully that does it does read well. But I will add detail to that as well. So this one's quite a simple scene, made up scene. So I've seen plenty of buildings, seen plenty of fields and trees and all that sort of thing. So I'm just going from memory here, just not any place in particular, but just combining things that I know how to paint and just having fun on the paper. You can see now with the liner brush again, using that to create these couple of trees. So that's quite nice to use for these trees, and just balances out the scene as well. I have spoke about this on a previous video. If you've got a few details, if you've got quite a few things on one side of the painting, it's always nice to go ahead and include a few things on the other side, just so that it balances the scene quite a bit. And so trees are always a nice thing to paint in watercolor. You can see just adding a few darker details now to the foliage and adding some sort of shadows underneath the trees, just so it looks like they're grounded, and just adding a few rocks and this, that and the other in the river, as you see in actual rivers. There's lots of rocks and things like that going on, so I wanted to include those, just darkening the edges of the river bank so that it draws your eye to the river as well. So you got a couple of nice things going on in this scene, the building, the cottage and the river, sort of just gives it a nice look with the sky above the clouds, and I wanted something a little bit dramatic, so that's why I went fairly dark with the sky, and I wanted that movement in the sky, sort of dark coming down, looking like a bit of rain or just some stormy weather. It's always gives an interest to the scene. I keep meaning to go really dramatic or really dark, and maybe another painting I will do. I just want to really push that, but it is nice to do rather than blue sunny skies. It's nice to get these dramatic skies as well. Just gives a bit more atmosphere, and you can see with the mist on the just above the grass, you can see the mist in the distance before you hit the hills. So that's quite nice as well. It gives a nice atmosphere, a nice ambient sort of look to the scene. So just removing the tape now, just normal decorator's masking tape, and you can see how nice the painting is once you remove that tape. It's one of my favourite things to do while I'm painting. But let me know what you think in the comment section. I do appreciate if you drop me a like. Just finishing this with a few birds in the sky. Oftentimes it's nice to do this with a pen. It just gives me more control. Not very good with the liner brush if I have to do something quite precise. It's good for trees because trees are quite, you want them to sort of not control them too much, because it gives a nicer look for the tree, more generic. But for birds you want them to be looking like birds and not pterodactyls or something like that, which would happen if I did use a liner brush. But that's it for this week's video. I do hope you like it. I hope you find it useful. I do thank you for watching, and if you do want to stay on for the bonus content, then feel free.